All right, everybody, we are here live for the 15th episode of the
Let's go
podcast.
podcast.
Very, very good job with Michael.
Yeah.
The Khatan, Michael Cohen, is in the house. Got married 2.5 weeks ago.
Yep.
Mendy, so Mazel Tov to you. We're waiting for Commissioner Edelman. Is having technical difficulties. Hopefully, he'll join us soon to talk about the exciting matchup coming up. So, why don't you tell us about your crew season so far?
Crew season so far. Wow. That's a big question. So we started out the season just a bunch of guys. Didn't really know each other that much. Again, there were a couple brothers on the team, like the Gelbs and the Minskys, but a lot of the other guys were just Brooklyn guys. And myself, I didn't really know anyone on the team, actually. I remember I spoke to Avi. Oh, perfect timing. I spoke to Avi, and yep.
Welcome,
Oh,
Avi. Michael did a really good Let's Go, by the way.
I felt bad doing it. Yeah. Well, so I was saying, so I didn't really know anyone on the team, so and I don't even know how I got Avi's number, but somehow the number gets out there, and Avi was. They said they were looking for a center fielder, so I said, okay, no problem, like that works for me. So I jumped on the team, and happens to be we're one of the best defensive teams I've ever played on. It's really like for me personally, I enjoy playing the field more than I like hitting. So just being in a field where every single person on the field, you feel confident if the ball's hit to them that something good's going to happen. It's really a relief to play with these people. I played in a lot of pickup leagues where it's anybody who can play. They're not as necessarily athletic as we would have liked. But anyway, it's a choose up league, so anybody plays. But to be on a team where everyone is together, everyone has the right mindset, everyone's coming in, you're serious, but they're also chill at the same time. When we're up a bunch of runs, we're more we get more chilled. But when it's a 1-2 run game, everyone's locked in, and it's really good. It's nice to be a part of.
Yeah, I've been impressed with the level of camaraderie on the crew, and it's also interesting to me. Something about the crew is that it seems like they've been around for they play like they've been playing together for 5-10 years, but in reality, it's the first season.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's just a bunch of really cool guys getting together. I guess I always
Who's
tell
the
this to
coolest?
people.
Who's the coolest of the cool guys?
Oh, I would say Shua Daney carries himself in a very, very cool way. He's like the emotional leader of the team. And then there's Mendy, who's he's the clown of the team. He keeps everyone
What does
chill.
the emotional leader mean?
Emotional leader is more he leads by example. He's locked in. Every pitch matters to him. When somebody does something wrong, he doesn't yell at them. He pulls them to the side. He talks to them. He says, I saw this, I saw that. That pitch was up. That pitch was down. It was in on you. Stay back. Whatever it is. He's and I've played on a bunch of teams. I played through high school. I played in Israel. I played on a bunch of teams. Like he's very, very, very very into it and very serious about it, which I really enjoy. I think is very important for our team.
How old is Shua?
Sure. It's crazy. For boys, we could be friends for years and never know that answer. I would say anywhere between 25 and 35. I wouldn't
Wait,
know.
so did you know Shua before or only from the team?
I didn't know anyone before. I knew no one, but now
You
I
didn't
feel
know
like
anyone. You were completely okay. I got it. I got it.
no
So the
one,
team
no one.
is like four different factions, 3 or 4 different factions who all came together, were put together. Got it. Um, yeah, it's an interesting mix. So on such an elite fielding team, which unfortunately my team was the victim of not once but twice. I mean, we in our playoff game with you, we ended up giving up 8 runs, but um, we hit the ball hard off of Jacob. A lot of solid contact, but is it Minsky who's your short center fielder / fourth outfielder? Minsky running, chasing down every ball, you chasing down every ball in the gap. It's very tough. So, what's it like being the center fielder on such an elite team? Do you feel like anybody's gunning for your job? Got it. What about in our playoff game against you? Did we have any? Did you get any balls? Shout out to Willie Mays who passed away yesterday. Is obviously a great, great center fielder. Yeah. Um, what's that? So weird. Yeah, it's crazy. So where did you play ball? Where did you play ball before the HSL? Wait, who are you subbing for? Oh, you played for Rada. Yeah, yeah. I mean, based on the level of defense you guys bring, I would certainly think you would be candidates to join the A League next year, regardless of whether or not you win the championship. I don't know if that's something that's in the cards for you guys, but I think the talent, it's not just the talent, I think the talent and the focus is there. You would, got it. So you mentioned that we were talking about before the podcast. You mentioned that you're from Kew Garden Hills, right, Michael? Yeah, his feed's not super great right now. Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. I'll talk to Avi while you get it back together. Um, I, Avi, what are your thoughts on the crew joining the Titan League?
Trying to switch from my computer to my phone.
That's a good idea. Close one of them though, because we're getting feedback.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on that one. Here. That work? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Listen. They also, I think, have also from what I've seen, they've got a certain swagger, a certain confidence that somebody like Ariel lacks. You know, he's scared to go to the A League. Wendy Warsh is sort of like, he's got this attitude of bring on the best. We want to face the Robins in the championship. That's the attitude of the crew that I've seen so far.
Funny you mentioned that actually, because ever since our first game against the Robins, which was the second week actually, so we were barely a team at that point. We didn't know each other. We didn't know how to play with each other. We didn't know any of that kind of stuff. I mean, we were coming off a big win up against the Rumble Ponies in the first week, but we didn't really know each other. So the second that game ended, we all, well, again, Shua Danny wasn't there, and they scored 5 runs in 1 inning because we had one less fielder. But we ended up.
Oh, you had 9. You only had 9 in the field.
We didn't even have 10 guys that game. So it's tough to beat anyone.
A team like the Robins really exploit that because they have a number of professional hitters.
Yeah, you can't beat the Robins. And I think it's actually, I try to look at the positive is that through 8 innings we allowed 2 runs to them. Outside of that 1 inning and playing with one less fielder and Shua, who's probably our best hitter. So we did. I think we only had 5 hits that game, and 1 reached on error. If I remember correctly, looking at the score sheet. So we did not hit the ball well that game at all. Ariel, obviously, he changes deliveries. He has a pretty funky windup also. So I don't think guys were used to that. But at the end of the day, we had guys on base and we were missing one of our best players. So we all, we got together after we did the handshakes and, we were hopefully pretty professional about it. But we got together on the bench and we're like, we want these guys. This is what we want. This is the level of competition that we're looking for. And this is not how we wanted this game to go. We heard about the Robins. We knew that this was the gold standard of our league. And we just, we've been wanting
what
this
since the beginning. Score?
The final score was 7-1.
7-1.
We loaded the bases in the 9th inning, I remember, and I think I had a walk with the bases loaded to make it 7-1, and then we got that was it. But we did get guys on base. We had some traffic, but we didn't get the big hit.
Yeah, well, that's what's tough about a pitcher like Ariel, and with fielding like that, they're going to make very few mistakes. So you really do kind of need 3 hits to bring a guy home. Not going to be a lot of extra base hits. Not going to be a lot of walks. I actually want to go back to our playoff game for a second. Something I'm thinking about. I was catching that game, and I think our 3rd time through the lineup, you put up a 5 spot in I think like the 6th inning or so. Thumbs up, Mike.
I forgot that happens. Yeah.
I think on reviewing the game, and this is something Ariel will do a better job at. You guys have very strong hitters, so Casson is kind of blowing you guys away for the first few innings, or if not blowing you away, but painting corners and pitching it hard, but you guys caught up with that by the 5th, 6th inning. I think we really needed a complete change in strategy by the 3rd time we were going through your lineup. And I think you guys just adjusted. You stepped back in the box, Shua Danny in an absolute rocket.
Yeah, I think we usually pick, it's weird for us because we usually pick up either at the beginning or at the end. It's weird. It's never both. Like, I wish it was both. But it's usually either we do well at the beginning of the game and then we go cold, or it's the opposite. So it happens to be this game. He was pitching very, very well. I can't hit him. I don't know why. I can't hit cats. I think this season I was 0 for 7 with the strikeout and like 2 walks against him. I can't hit him. I don't know why. Something about his delivery. But again, like guys on the team, we did go in the dugout and guys were saying step back in the box, wait a little bit longer. I think his speed was getting a little bit slower as the game was going on. It's hard to keep up that level of speed throughout the entire game, velocity. But again,
his velocity ticked down a little bit.
It did feel like it, but he also tried to mix. I don't know if this is true or not, but it looks like he tried to mix in some off-speed pitches also. So guys just waited back on that one, and Danny hit a couple rockets. But again, everyone was trying. Everyone was really. I think this is an interesting statistic. Everyone on the team had a hit that game besides me. So yeah, I mean, I'm not proud of it.
Word on the street is you're a designated fielder for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what they say, but I've been batting leadoff all year, so that would be pretty funny if that happens. But but he's a great pitcher, and I'm not gonna lie, we were pretty nervous for a lot of the game there. It was, but it's good playoff baseball. I enjoyed it. It ended up going in our favor, but.
It was interesting. We tied it up, and then we immediately gave back that lead. So that was kind of, and in a big fashion, 5 runs.
Yeah, it's interesting. Our team, like we take it personally when somebody scores against us. Like it's like that just happened. Like they just because Yakus is such a
what an absolute chutzpah! How dare you guys?
We take it. Yeah, we're like, what did we do wrong? Where were we not positioned defensively correctly? Did we throw to the wrong base? Like what did we do that was wrong there? But again, you guys had some solid hits, and you fought back. It made it a good game.
Yeah, so somebody like Ariel, I think I'm an inexperienced catcher. Cass is a pretty relatively new pitcher. He really emerged this year. think a pitcher like Ariel is going to keep you guys on your toes. And I think it's going to be a very close game. I'm not going to give a prediction because those have burned me big time in the past. But I think it's going to be a 1-run or 2-run game at most. And low scoring, something like 3-2, 4-1, 4-2, something like that.
Right. The one factor I'm interested in, if you guys think this is another factor, is we're used to playing in the morning, but playing at night, guys could be tired. It could be just a different atmosphere. You had a big dinner that night. Somebody might, be slower. Somebody might, be a little more tired. They were working late that day. I just, this is another factor that I was
I
thinking
think it
about.
was a strategic error on the Crew's part to be so quick to play the night because Ariel has a lot of guys who play on that field at night. I think the Crew is very, very confident, so they're like, okay, throw whatever you want at us. But personally, I think that gives the Robins a slight edge. They've played a lot of those guys play for Ariel on Wednesday night, and I do think it's a little bit of a strategic error. Now I'm going to get in trouble for saying that.
No,
I'm not coming at you, Jacob Gelb. He's the captain, right? Gelb's the captain.
Yeah,
right?
Gelb, yeah. Yeah, we both wanted to play on Sunday, but guys just couldn't do it. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So how do you do it? You guys took a poll or something?
Yeah.
Mendy's not afraid of nothing.
No, Mendy, no. He's the face of our team. Let's put it. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Did you hear
He's
his
a
new
public
living room
figure.
sessions? Did you hear his new living room sessions yet?
Yeah, that was great. Excellent.
Yeah. Michael, so I noticed you're wearing a white shirt. Are you in yeshiva these days?
I'm in between right now. I just finished college, so I'm working this summer at a camp, and then hopefully next summer I'm gonna be going a year for Kollel. But I'm trying to sneak in some softball this
Wait,
summer
wait,
with Avi.
you're doing Kollel where?
I'm doing Kollel in Queens in Landers Kollel.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I was at YU, and now I'm going to Landers. It's a pretty interesting mix there. But
Not so unusual.
yeah, but I'm just trying to sneak some softball in, uh, before we go.
I don't know what. Wow. It's a very strong team you're joining, Michael. I see the best are all recruiting you.
Well, I just I don't pass up an opportunity to play with the commish. That's not something I would do. Sabo's an excellent fielder. Excellent fielder. Yeah, Dublin, I think he actually had a crazy catch against you guys at third base, and
Decent catch in a big spot.
that ball was ticketed for the outfield. That was double. I was already out. I was already going. I was already going to back up the left fielder.
What's that, Avi? Mo Feldman,
Yeah, he's your leadoff hitter.
leadoff hitter.
Yeah,
He's a professional hitter. Yeah.
that was a shot, and it was
So
unbelievable
something
catch.
funny, you mentioned you were 0 for 7 off Cassian. I I played against our first time against you guys. Sabo must have had 2 or 3 hits, and then he plays for the a Wednesday night team, the Tigers, and he got like 3 hits in a row. It wasn't Cassian pitching; it was somebody else. He got like 3 hits in a row, and then his first time up, he got a hit, I think, and we walked him in the next spot. And afterward, was either Manella. I think it was Manella who's his captain Wednesday. It was Manella or Warsh, one of these funny guys comes over and they're like, "Why are you walking Sabo? Sabo stinks." I'm like, they were messing around, but Sabo was right there. I'm like, I don't know. The guy's got like I've watched him get like 6, 7 hits in a row against my teams. Like I'm not pitching to him with men on base.
Yeah, Savo's he's also he's a guy who like lives baseball. He walks around as a baseball player. I wouldn't be surprised if he walks around with a bat in his hand to go to the store. This guy is he's they're all baseball guys and their baseball knowledge. Like I remember in our game, I don't know if you remember this, David, but we had I think Sabo got a hit and he got to second base and then I was last out and he called me to pinch run for him. I'm like, why? He's like, because you're twice as fast as me and we need a run. And like nobody was even thinking about that. Like we were like, oh, let's save it for someone who like breaks an ankle, Hashem, or like something happens and he can't run. He's like, no, let's use a runner now, and it actually worked. The next batter, I scored from second. It was a close play at home, and we have it on video actually. And I go to Sabo, I'm like, you genius. Like, why? Like he's like our second manager. It's like it's the good baseball mind to have on the bench.
It's great to have a guy like that around for sure. Some of you guys, what's that? We haven't gotten into the summer yet, but the Black Sox are definitely not the Black Sox. The Nashville Getaways are definitely the team to beat. I know Avi's downplaying his team a lot, but there's a lot of star-studded talent. Who's playing center field, by the way? Nah. Well, Pelberg, Friedman, Cohen, and Zigelbaum. Are you worried about your team, Avi? Who's playing shortstop? Oh, Yako's playing shortstop, and Ellie's playing third. They're locking down the left side of the infield.
Wow.
Michael, are you following all this? Because I'm not.
I'm writing it down. I have a pencil with me right here. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Take notes, Mike. So, Michael, you grew up in Kew Garden Hills. Where'd you go to elementary school?
I went to Ferris Moshe.
Okay, like myself.
Yeah, the best. And then I went to May for high school at Teres Yaakov in the Five Towns.
Yeah, no, I know it. I know it. I was just my brother teaches at Tifmo, but I think he came after you. He teaches seventh grade there.
Oh, really?
Gottlieb,
Wait,
but he,
Rabbi Gottlieb?
yeah. That's my brother.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. My cousin had me. Loved him. Says the best.
Oh yeah.
The best.
Who's your cousin? Cohen also.
Yeah. Jakob Cohen. He says he's Rabbi Gottlieb's the best. I guess
Oh really?
runs in the
Great.
family. Now that you mentioned it, you do look like him.
Oh yeah, a little bit. So you went to May, and then did you go to Israel, or you went straight to YU?
I went 2 years to Merkaz. Um, and that was actually fun because we had Merkaz is it's a pretty sportsy kind of place. So I played on their football team. I played on the football team there, and I played on the softball team. Um, we actually lost to the Syrians, so the Syrians these kids are good. And we lost in the playoffs. We were like 8-0, and we're blowing everyone out. And then we lost our pitcher in the playoffs, and we ended up losing 11-9 or something. But the Syrians, they always get me. The Syrians. I
Well,
don't
I
know
didn't get
why.
you this year.
This year they didn't get us for the first time. They got me in high school football. The Syrians got me Flatbush, but these guys are good. I don't know what they feed them over there, but they're good. They're good players.
So let's get some predictions for Sunday.
You want me to go first?
I mean Monday. Monday.
Monday, right? I mean, let's see. I would say again. I would have to say Crew. I can't say Robbins, but I would say Crew, and if it's going to be a very very tight game, very low scoring. Like I think like Avi said, I think we're looking at a 4-3 game, 4-3 game, and I don't know how we're going to get those 4 runs, but some way, some way we're going to have to pull through, and the defense is going to have to come through like it always has. 3 runs against that team to hold them to three is very tough. Is very, very tough. But again, I think that with 10 fielders and Jacob getting, 2 or 3 weeks of rest, which is actually very big for him, to, rest his arm a little bit. I really think that we have it within us to play that kind of defense. It's going to take all 10 guys locked in every pitch, which I don't think is an issue for us. And, it could be nerves. Nerves get to people sometimes, but you're gonna have to push through. And I was thinking to myself, I'm the leadoff hitter and with the lower seed, so I think I'm leading off the game. So everyone's like, Michael, don't get nervous, don't get nervous. I'm like, it's just a baseball game, guys. But deep down, it is a little bit nerve wracking. First pitch championship game. I'm still deciding whether or not I'm going to swing at that pitch. But yeah, I would say Crew 4-3 in a tough battle.
Is the Cohen cheering squad coming?
I believe there will be some representation. Yes, the wife is
Who?
definitely coming.
Your wife's definitely
And a
coming.
few definitely coming. My father came to the other playoff game. That was he's there. My father actually played in this league 20 years ago. He played with Ariel Cohen like 18 years ago. He remembers Ariel from those times. Like Ariel Cohen's still playing. Like I remember I struck him out like 18 years ago. I forget. My father was like I think my father was the MVP of the league 18 years ago as a pitcher. So he told me like about Ariel Cohen. He's like, yeah, Ariel Cohen's one of the most competitive people I ever met.
Did
Like,
your
and this
dad
was
grow
like,
up in Queens also?
and I grew up in Queens also. Yeah, yeah. So he played in the Hillcrest softball league also with my uncle. Um, I'm actually I told Avi this, but I also pitch. So like my father, I learned a lot from my father pitching. So yeah, so that's he give me some pointers. He always tells me you got to slow it down, you got to speed it up, pitch the corners. With certain pitches, 0-2, 1-2. Where you want to go inside, outside. If you work inside at the beginning of the count, you want to work back outside, up, down. You want to keep all this kind of stuff. Yeah, I have two younger siblings, a brother and a sister. My brother played for my team one game this season. I think he's 20. One is post high school. One is in college now. He's 20, and then I have a sister who is I don't know, somewhere between 14 and 16. I lost count. She's yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we're not that young, but I do have a few cousins I could try to get in there. I know it's
Depends if he wins the championship. Then he'll
yeah. I got to earn my
that'll
keep
be.
before I start recruiting. I don't think any yeah. I think a lot of guys for the summer, a lot of guys are going upstate, but next year, I would not think anybody would have an issue with that. Seems like everyone's having fun. The only issue is the guys who they're a little upset about waking up at 6:15 on a Sunday, but they signed up for it, so it's a bunch of old men complaining.
Yeah, making the games a little bit later, 8:30 and 10:30.
That's that's a conversation. That's good news. Definitely good
Yeah.
news. Not for the summer league though. For the summer, no, no, not this. No. Okay.
I don't know about. I don't know what FanDuel would say about that one. Robin's by two. Robin's by two. Avi, I'm actually gonna tell you a prediction, as they said. I would actually, I, I would actually, if I was making a betting line, I would actually put it at Robin's plus like 2.5 or minus 2.5. I mean, because things you mentioned, you actually laid it out really well, which is why you're so good at these predictions. The experience factor, I think the playing at night. I mean, this is very new for the Crew. And the teams the Crew beat in the playoffs, the Black Sox have a lot of experienced players, but the team is also pretty new. Who did you beat in the first round? Did you have a bye?
No, we didn't have a bye. I don't even remember. Oh, we played somebody who was not so good, I remember. Yeah, they weren't so great.
Okay, and they're also a new team, but here you're going up against something really, really experienced, and you guys do carry yourselves like you've been playing together for a long time. But there are a number of what they call intangible factors that I think are working against you guys.
Right. Has anybody ever come on this podcast and not pick themselves?
That's
So,
what.
Listen, I would never pick the Robins. I would never do that to my team. But I am gonna say that inside we are nervous. Obviously, it's the new kid on the block going up against the bully. That's how it goes. So we go in confident. But
By the way,
yeah, there's just 2 points I wanted to make on that. Is one of them is that again, it's the game of baseball, so it doesn't matter if you've been playing it for 40 years or you're playing it for 5 years. We've also played, we've played since we were in diapers, and it's not like we're a bunch of kids coming out to play against these guys. We have played baseball, we have played,
this feels
professional.
like the Shlomo Ross damage control episode.
Yeah, yeah. Again, like these are guys they're very very good, but I know what a double play is also, and I know what a home run means. It's not like again we do deserve to be the underdogs, and we do deserve to prove ourselves. But at the end of the day, we do we are I wouldn't say seasoned, but we have played a little bit, which leads me to my second point of the Robins didn't blow. I don't know who they played last week, but they didn't blow them out. They won 6, 5, and 10. So that's a little bit of life for us also to watch that saying, right, which I did hear.
Are
Right,
they
right.
both playing Monday night?
So
They're going to be
that's
they're going to be a real challenge for your defense because you should actually probably talk to Avi about both how to pitch them and how to field them. They're both amazing at finding holes.
I
Like
know.
really,
I do remember. I do remember from our second game.
among the best I've seen. They'll slap it to the right
They
side.
slap.
They'll
Yes.
pound it
Yeah.
up the middle. They're pains in the ass, basically.
Yes. Yeah. They're unbelievable fielders. Unbelievable fielders. It's almost annoying to watch if you're on another team. It's beautiful to watch if you're on their team. But I remember they. Yeah. Yeah.
I have work. I don't get home from work until about 8 p.m. So maybe I'll come after. No. I don't get home from work about till about 8:30. So I can move a session around, but it's unlikely. I don't.
Can we ask who's umping, or is that insider information?
Who's getting home plate? Is Joe taking home plate again?
Unbelievable. That's how we like it. That's how we like it. Okay, sounds
Um,
good.
we got to jump in a couple minutes, Mike. What areas of improvement for the HSL?
Areas of improvement. Well, besides for the few minutes later start, which seems like you guys are on top of. To be honest,
Also, besides for trash talking guests on the podcast, this team gotta
yeah,
put up
yeah,
with.
yeah. I actually did. I have watched a bunch of podcasts just to know what to expect. But also, I mean, I had a few guys, Mendy and Jacob on the pod, so I had to watch that for my
Yeah.
guys. But it was a bunch. I also watched the Ariel podcast from a week or two ago, just to see if I could steal anything from him, any information he leaked. But to be honest, I mean, coming from a pickup league where the talent wasn't that much there, we didn't have umpires, we didn't have much of that. I'm very happy with HSL. I really don't. I remember my grandfather came to one game and he said to me, I didn't think about this, but he's like, "You guys have jerseys but no hats." So I was thinking about that. I don't know. Maybe that's something that you can you can fix over there.
I mean, what
I
does a
think
hat cost per piece, including the printing? Including the printing, it's a big price point. We need sponsors.
yeah. No, it was just cool. Yeah. Because baseball for me, I believe baseball you have to have a cap on. I don't know how guys come and they don't have caps on. Then they lose a ball in the sun, and then it's who are they blaming? You gotta wear a hat.
So your grandfather's also a baseball fan. Was he also in the HSL?
No, my grandfather's not. He no, but he it was actually funny because we were taking the stats down on our stat thing, like Avi told us to. And he came to a game and he's like, "Let me do it," because he's like 55 years ago I used to do that for my middle school. So he took it over and he started writing down, fly out, base hit. I'm like, "Well, I didn't know you could do this." He's like, "Yeah, I used to be the top top stat guy at my school." I'm like, "Okay, that's
Where
pretty
was
cool."
that? Where was he in middle school?
I don't. My grandfather wasn't religious when he was young, so he was in
Nah.
one of the public schools. But he remembers, like he still remembers, 1B, 2B, K, and all that kind of stuff, like flyouts, and he was doing a pretty good job. So just give him something
All
to do.
right. Any closing thoughts, fellas?
I know. I just want to say thank you to you guys for a great season. It's my first time playing full time in a league, and no regrets. No regrets so much so that I just got married and I'm signing up again. It's
I just remembered something actually that I wanted to bring up, Avi. You saw the poll? No, no, you saw the poll about the crew versus the Robins, and the crew like dominated that poll. Yeah, you and me were the only votes for the Bombers, Avi.
I don't remember which game it was, but one game we were in the handshake line, and somebody told me anyone but the Bombers, and we after we beat them. So I sorry, anyone but the Robins. So I'm like, all right, cool,
Go get him! Go get him, Mike!
Yeah, I
Go
don't
get
know,
him!
man. I don't know. I was like, all right, no problem. We'll try our best. It's
All
the best
right,
we can do.
thanks for coming on, Avi. Did you finish your pitch? Did you finish the softball fall pitch?
It's the cool kids say. That's the cool kids
I'm
say.
old. I don't know this slang. Take care, guys.